Analysts in Taiwan have pointed out that the Taiwanese midterm elections are not a precursor for the 2024 presidential elections. What's your view on this, and how does it differ to the US system?
Well, if 2018 is anything to go by, it is not a precursor. But that doesn't mean that things did not happen on Saturday that won't affect 2024. In particular, the fact that the referendum to lower the voting age did not pass will probably hurt the DPP. But at the same time, Ann Gao's surprise win in Hsinchu will give Ko Wen-je just enough justification to run for the presidency, which will net help the DPP. The main difference with the US system is that, first of all, the US, the elections are actually real midterms because it's midway through a presidential term, not 3/4 like it is in Taiwan. But even though you're voting locally for your local representative in Congress or in the Senate, whoever wins has a national position and a national impact. Where in Taiwan, you're voting for a local candidate who also only has local impact.
You are in the US and you're also an ex-US official. How are the results being viewed in the United States?
Well, sorry to say for Taiwan Plus viewers on this long US holiday weekend, not many people are talking about these elections. But for those who follow it, I would suspect, Washington has always seen Tsai Ing-wen as a very steady, calm pair of hands. And there may be some dismay that when the political game got a little tough in these elections, she may have played the China card unnecessarily, where cross-strait relations were really not part of the debate. But she only has 14 months left in office. She's still very popular. I think the U.S. is overall satisfied with how she's handled things.
So do you think the U.S., Washington, would see the results as a referendum on Tsai Ing-wen's China policy?
No, not at all. Blue and green polls, if I see it, supported the Pelosi visit, even after Beijing's histrionic overreaction afterwards. And her approval ratings themselves are well above 50%. So I think anybody who understands Taiwan knows that these were local elections about local issues. And again, going back to 2018, it has nothing to do with who's eventually going to win the next presidential election.
Sean, you're also an expert in East Asia. How much interest is there in Japan about these midterm elections?
Not too much, as far as I can tell. I mean, again, contrary to what happens on the other side of the strait, the great news is that people in Taiwan actually can vote and that these elections happen on a regular basis. There may be some apprehension over the KMT doing well because historically the KMT has been somewhat less pro-Japan than the DPP, in particular when it comes to prosecuting and upholding Taipei's claim to Japan's Senkaku Islands. But again, anybody in Japan who really understands Taiwan knows these were local elections that have no impact on Taiwan's foreign policy. So for the most part, I think people in Japan will not pay these election results much mind at all.